What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. Mandy Rose.
Oh, Lord.
The reason why I bring up Mandy Rose is because this past week, Mandy Rose was on a talk show. Baby girl, you remember the talk show better than I do.
Tamron Hall.
Tamron Hall.
I don't know how to feel about her show, but keep going.
I've seen, like, when I be at work and it be on my dad's TV, and not that he voluntarily watches because he just leaves the TV on and it comes to that channel. I'm just like, it's a regular daytime talk show.
Yeah. From what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, she ain't bringing nothing special to the table.
None of the daytime talk shows are stellar, honestly. This is a side note. Once a certain generation is going, daytime talk shows is going too. Because we don't give a shit about daytime talk shows.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even that. That was like, for example, the shows feel different though. Like, not to be that person, but like, even Ellen's show felt like something was going to happen though. Like, these shows are just like, oh, okay. Nothing happens.
It was the run of the mill. Like, there's no Oprah or Montel Williams. And Montel Williams, had Sylvia Brown come every Tuesday.
You stupid.
You know what I'm saying? Or or they had certain things on certain days. And I'm just like,
they moved away from the drama and all that other stuff, the gimmicky things.
Yeah.
More. It's just really talking.
Well, I'm just saying, but I understand what I'm talking about because right now, the Tamron Hall or even Shirley Shepherd, it's just like you sit there, you talk, you bring on people to interview them, and what's going on in pop culture. You have your little segments, and you go on about your day. The end.
Yeah, she's not gonna last that long. If you had to take Wendy Williams' audience,
yeah,
I don't, I'm not wishing bad on that lady. I just know that audience is here for a totally different show.
Yeah.
Than what they're getting right now. But that was a random aside. But yeah, she was on Tamron Hall.
And she spoke openly about the what happened in December, and this is what she had to say. She says, "Losing the title was obviously a gut punch. I was so disappointed at the end of the day. My purpose was gone. That's where I felt lost and confused because of all the hard work. Driving home from there, a lot of things were going through my mind. You always think there are unanswered questions. At the end of the day, I love what I've done in WWE, and I love the platform they presented me with. I am forever grateful to them. Everything happens for a reason, and I can't even say I was wrong because I'm so forever grateful for everything that WWE has presented me with." She said she's still hurting, dealing with the collateral damage of her release. She said, "I'm hurt. I'm very hurt. No one wants to get that call that you're being fired from any job. I was very hurt, very disappointed. I was disappointed more because of everything I put into the business. But just the last year and a half, I was champion for 413 days. I unified 2 titles. I was the 3rd longest NXT Women's Champion. I also created this must-see faction with 2 other women that I brought up. I got to see so many women developing characters and stuff like that. And also, she was saying that WWE never really notified her about the content on her fan-only channel.
Uh-huh.
And
no, Fan Time, I think it's called.
Fan Time, excuse me. I don't want to get, cause I know there's so many of these different kind of things out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Hey boss, guess what I found on the internet? Yeah. What did you find? The Mandy Rose. Like, I don't know how that conversation went. I still want to know how that went.
I guarantee you that fool was subscribed and went and said something. Cause why else?
Yeah, out the blue, and I do think WWE panicked a little bit.
I think, I thought that when this happened, that they panicked because everything that was already happening, and they was just like, just get rid of her, just get rid of her, just get rid of her.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I've seen the argument, people going back and forth. So WWE can profit off of her being a sex siren.
Yeah.
But she can't. And like, but she's using the name that she built, and I like this is
No, that's the reason they fire her, because they can't profit off of it. Because that's
exactly.
like when people with their gaming channels and stuff, they couldn't profit off of. Vince is like, nah, we ain't doing it. But now they kind of let them profit, so it's
So
different.
this is the thing. I could see it being feasible that they may not have formally said anything to her. However, I could also see it being there was a clause in her contract somewhere saying that she couldn't do X, Y, and Z. And
I mean, I think you would know better than not to show Cat on anything. But hey,
but that's
hey.
what I'm saying. I could see nobody actually formally came and said anything to her.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what happened.
Nobody has to tell you to go to work and not pull your pants down. I mean, I thought people just know that, like.
But that's the thing. This is not at work. That's where this is where the lines,
Sure,
because when you become a public figure, it's even trickier. But this is where the lines begin to blur. This is the thing that I've personally been like, I don't feel like is cool about the new age of social media. It's a different story when you're a public figure. If I myself, I don't do anything with my social medias, but if I myself decided I wanted to go out and have fun and have a drink or whatever and be in a TikTok or a reel with my friends, I don't expect to get called into HR on Monday because somebody saw me with a drink in my hand. That's bullshit to me personally.
Yeah.
However, with her, because she's a public figure and it's a sticky situation when you start getting into like toy deals and things like that. Which is why I say she could very well have finessed it and been like, but they didn't say anything. But what did your contract say? Did it say in your contract that you cannot have any not promiscuous? What is the provocative type of content? Because it will be a breach of contract for like Mattel or Hasbro or whoever making their toys.
Yeah.
Does it say that in there somewhere? I mean, that's the tricky part of it.
It is tricky, like I said, because I understand. I definitely understand what you're saying. You make a good point, but I also understand what Prime was trying to say. Where it says like not to come to work and pull your pants down.
That's facts. I agree with that. Please don't do that. Don't be weird.
You know what I'm saying? To the point where it's just like when you're working for WWE and you already know for years in, even before you came in with Tough Enough, knowing that this is a family friendly company. And yes, I understand y'all selling Toxic Attraction and you got some women in your group that does some weird shit. You know what I'm saying? But y'all also, like I said, when it comes to toys and video games and a lot of stuff that they do out there now for the kids, and to the point where now anybody has access to anything.
But I also feel like that's a cop out because y'all was going out there and doing Playboy and Playgirl.
No. I agree with you on that.
And kids was watching. We was watching when they had folks out there doing Playgirl and Playboy. So
was it PG then though?
It is not a okay.
You know how they be trying to cover up since they
I guess it is a bit different now because everyone has access to everything all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, if your parents are having a conversation about something that you shouldn't be hearing and you happen to be in the room or you eavesdropping, I'm not going to say to adults they can't have adult conversations because there's a child in a 50-foot radius who shouldn't be in earshot. That's crazy. But now it's kind of like you don't have that. There's no way to have private adult conversations kind of thing. Because there's always a way for kids to find stuff. I guess that is problematic. And that's where you get into the did you breach your contract? Because if anybody, I don't know if anybody's outright asked her that question. I didn't watch the Tamara Hall interview. I only seen like little clips and still shots of it.
Who did?
Nobody really did.
I was surprised she was on the show. Like, I didn't think of that one.
I didn't think. I was confused as well. But I'm like, has anybody asked that question? You know how you say people say you're not asking the right questions? Yeah. You can ask, oh, well, how did it happen? How did you feel afterwards? Did anybody say, did you read your contract and know that you breached it by doing this arrangement? I don't know. I don't think anybody has asked that. I do want to say, like, Booker T is really becoming a shake my fist and get off my lawn guy. But it's like him saying, because this is completely separate, but him saying, oh, well, you can't live off $1 million and blah, blah, blah. I may not be able to live off $1 million, especially after taxes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because she did confirm on the show that in that month after she left, she did make $1 million in subs.
Yeah.
Cool. I may not be able to live off $1 million, but that's at least twice my salary. At least. And that's being generous. I'm sorry. That's at least twice the salary of the highest paid woman in the whole company.
Yeah.
Yearly. And I made that in a month. So don't play dumb. We're not surviving on the same money you surviving on.
Yeah.
Check your privilege. And take a seat about, oh, well, you can't survive on $1 million. These women not surviving on $1 million in the first place. They getting, they cracking $100,000 if they lucky a year. So for somebody to make, and I think wasn't that the whole thing where she was just like, I'm not willing to let go of the stream of revenue because it's bringing me more money and then my contract.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, with the thing, I guess, dies out a little bit because as of right now, the world we live in, you know what I'm saying, the people are going to pay to see naked women. They're going to.
Absolutely. Always.
Yeah.
Even if it's free.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're going to do that. Especially, men are definitely going to do that. So, you know, she's going to make money in that aspect. But I think she really does love wrestling or fell in love with it.
I mean, the work she's put in, I think so too.
Yeah, I think one day that she would, you know, want to come back. But right now, I'm gonna make all this bread that I can.